It's just, I'm literally just sitting here just thinking about what it's taken just to get to this point. Hey, what's up, YouTube? My name is Jesse. I go by the Veteran Flipper on YouTube, and this is part 2 of the reality of moving an eBay business. At least for me, it was definitely hectic. Nice early morning. Alright, that's a 20 foot. Wow, I probably should have got a 26, but we're getting that 20 right there. Alright, we're in. This truck right here is actually pretty decent size. I think we should be able to fit everything just fine. I brought my dolly, some moving blankets to kind of help protect stuff. I don't know, now that I'm looking at everything, I'm like, man, this is gonna be a lot. This is gonna be a lot. My back hurts just looking at this. And my goal was to get all of this stuff put into that truck, all the fragile stuff. I'm not going to package that stuff. I'm just going to put all that stuff in the front cab. But my goal was to get this hopefully loaded up in the next 2 hours. Actually, I am an hour ahead of schedule, but still, I would still like to stick to 2 hours. So it's 9:06. I'm hopefully get this done by 11 a.m. I wish I could just snap my fingers and put all that in that truck. All done? Cut my finger putting these in. All the way down to the cartilage. Jeez, oh man, there's tolls every like 5 minutes. Ticket. How much do I owe you? $11.35. Okay. There's 1, 2, there's 12. All right, thank you. Have a good one. No, thank you. I ain't got time for that. Let's go! Woo! A little bit of traffic. Just stopped at a service station a little over an hour away. I'm not doing this shit again. I never drink stuff like this, but I am so tired right now. Knock out this last hour. Just got back to the house. I literally just pulled up with the U-Haul. Jeez, oh man, I am so beat. 4 hours from here to New Jersey. Almost 3 hours to load up the truck, clean out the unit, close out the storage unit, and then another 4-hour drive back, and I'm just beat. So the plan is I have shelving that's similar size to these ones right here. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna put these shelving in this garage. Like I said, the plan is to put 2 shelving units there, and then probably another 2 right there. And then what I think I'm gonna do is the heavy duty shelving that is really tall. I'm gonna put that down in the basement. Like I said, it's an unfinished basement, but the plan is I think I'm gonna do a lot of heavier items, electronics or whatnot, and I'm gonna put that stuff down in the basement. A lot of that stuff's gonna be pre-packed anyways, and I think that stuff will hold up, especially if we can sell it fast enough. It is pretty dry down in the basement, so not super concerned about it. All right, welcome to the Veteran Flipper dungeon down here. So this is the basement. That was my old office desk. It's massive. I did not want to put it in the garage because it takes up a lot of space. That top slab right there connects to right here. So my plan is to have a second shipping station set up down here. And then, like I said, it is unfinished basement. Definitely needs a good cleaning. And this old pipe right here can come right out because it's not doing nothing. All I did is just kind of leave it there hanging, and I don't want to block the window, so I'm thinking about doing a shelf here, leave 2-foot space, shelf, and then shelf. And this is going to be a lot of, like I said, pre-packaged items. And then there's even going to be more room down here. I might leave this empty for now. And then there's even like this little cubby that I could probably use for something. But this side is going to be for reselling, and then all of our personal stuff We still got to go through that, organize it, all of our holiday decorations. I got my military gear, all that good stuff. You know, we definitely want to make sure that we stay away from the hot water heater, the furnace, and all that. Not trying to jack nothing up. And yeah, so that's the basement, old basement. But yeah, I got all this stuff over here. Planning on setting up my gym on this side. And that guy left me with a $500 like rigid box. Well, they're $450, $500 brand new. And then, like I said, all this stuff needs to be reorganized. And yeah, it is what it is. I definitely spent a good amount of time. We spent a good amount of time cleaning this stuff up. And then that goes upstairs into the kitchen, which is kind of near the garage. So it's pretty conveniently laid out. So that's going to be the setup. I like how I can actually... My head clears in here. I can walk out in here without hitting my head. You know, like I said, I started off reselling an unfinished basement. I think this will definitely work. But more expensive stuff, I'm going to be putting that stuff in the garage, the collectibles and whatnot. Definitely going to go out in the garage. But this is what I got to work with, and this is what I'm going to be working with.
Oh, you know, we use it on top. Get that wire.
It's only me and you now. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. I don't even know what I'm even talking about. Alright. Got all that stuff off the walls there. Pretty decent progress. Just gotta get this swept up. Get all that trash out of here. Not too shabby. So if you remember when I put those poles in here, you gotta be careful with stuff like that because it might slide out and hit you in the face like Final Destination. Oh, told you. So it's the next day. It is Tuesday morning. Been up for a few hours, got a few things done on my phone. My back is in agonizing pain from moving that storage unit yesterday. But we can sit here and make excuses on how our bodies hurt and our knees hurt and all that, or we just put our back brace on and get to work. So I think the big thing when you're self-employed is as long as you keep your discipline and you do what you got to do and you don't want to do it, you can't fail. So I'm gonna get these steel posts right here cut, and then that way I can put these ones down in the basement. Sometimes it seems corny, but wear your safety glasses. Alright. One down, 11 more to go. Last one. Perfect fit. Alright, so everything that was sitting over here, I just threw over here just to get it out of my way. And then I got all the shelving that's going in here and here. And those things, by the way, the wood shelves, those suck. I don't even know why I use them. I got them for like $40 for 2 shelves, and I just stuck with them. And then I got all the shelving that's going down to the basement, down in the basement. I'm going to put all this stuff together, and we'll be done with this in a second. So that was absolutely not a second. I'll have more. This is going to be a walk path right here once I get all these boxes and stuff out of here. 1, 2 window, AC is going to go there. Probably have heat up there. And then these wooden shelves right here. And then this is all going to be cleared out, so we're not blocking the electrical panel. And I have extra racks that weren't used down in the basement because I cut it. So these posts right here, I got a really cool idea. I'll show you guys actually that. That'll be tomorrow. But these are the framing pieces to that shelf right there, and these are the extra shelving units. So my plan is to actually put these shelves up there on the ceiling, and I'll show you exactly how I'm going to do that. But first, let me show you the basement. Here's the shelving down in the basement. We got 1, 2, 3 of the heavy-duty shelving units. Like I said, a lot of heavy stuff is going to go on these, and the like larger bulky items. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pre-package a lot of this stuff. And then right now I just got to set up this last shelving unit. I'm going to put this small one right here. And then I think I'm going to call it a day on that. And I'm going to probably pick back up tomorrow. All right, 0500 the next morning. Coffee is brewing. Isabella's sleeping. All right, so I literally ended up setting up that final shelf down in the basement, and I also ended up doing a little bit of projects out in the garage. I really just want to show this because I want to share with you guys and gals out there just ideas for how to like possibly create more space. These are just ideas that I've came up with. I'm sure there's probably other creative ideas on how you can create space, but this is just what I'm doing right now. So I got office desk here, and then I created this up here for like a testing station right here, so I can test a lot of my electronics and whatnot. I got outlet down there. Would like to run an outlet up here, and you know, whatnot, but this is just stuff that that I'm doing. And then my plan is to have shipping slash listing over there. That stuff is just temporarily there right now. And then the plan is to have lighting in between each shelf. That way I can see all my inventory better. And then also, so I measured this out. Really cool idea, especially if you have not just one, but two garage doors, is creating shelving above. So if you are going to move, make sure when you do move, you update all of these addresses right here on your eBay. So under the account settings, addresses, update every single one of these to your new address. Now I'm going to go unload the whole entire truck. First things first, I got to get this stuff out of my way. And then I got to unload the truck, put all of this stuff that's in the truck onto the shelves. And then after everyone wakes up, then I can start cutting that. What time is it? All right, it is 6:30. So I've been at it for 13 hours now. I started at 5:30 in the morning, 6:30. To be honest, I didn't even want to record at all. But I just want to just be honest and transparent. This shit sucks. I'm not doing this again, but I'm just trying to figure out, running a little low on space, but I do have extra space. It's just a matter of creating it. This right here will not stay there. These are all items that sold. That big bowling alley, that sold. Plan is to hopefully get all that shipped out tomorrow. I put this small shelf right here. And this right here is going to stay cleared out. That way we're not blocking the electrical panel. So the small shelf right there, that fit perfectly. All this stuff right here, minus my tools, but all this stuff right here is going to be mounted up high on the ceilings. So this is this side right here. That's the shelving that's going to go up on the ceiling. And then got my ladder there. That scooter, that's not going to stay there. 2-foot spacing in between shelving. Can only go up so high because of the garage doors. So that's pretty much where we're capped at as far as that goes. All this stuff won't be there. Shelving that's going on the ceiling, that's going to go in the window. Hopefully I don't have issues opening that window. The wood, I just been using that for projects. I actually might use that long strip right there and put it up there, create a little shelf. Maybe for my boombox. So I was actually planning on putting the heater up there, but obviously like that's a big hazard right there. So change of plans. I don't know where I'm gonna put that heater. I might have to put it like up there somewhere. Because obviously it'll only be used when the garage doors close, but as long as the garage door can still come up. But I'm gonna have to figure that out. So I do need to get a heater up in here. Or maybe I might go up there if I can. If I have to, I might have to clear some of this stuff out. But as long as I know that heater's got to be a certain distance, or I might have to get a different type of heater. But yep, same thing. That shelf right there is unlisted stuff. All this stuff right here on my shipping table is it's gonna go somewhere. All this stuff right here, it's gonna go somewhere. It's just everything's a little bit disorganized right now. But that's just the update. The basement looks hectic, and I need more shelving for the basement. All right, and here's the update of the basement. All this stuff right here, electronics, are going on those shelves right there. That piece that I had over here, I ended up not using that because it would have stuck way out. Miscalculation, DVDs, VCR. There's some more stuff that's a lot of this stuff I use for testing. A lot of the DVDs, VHS tapes, and then like I said, we do got a little bit more space on some of these shelves. Plenty of space down there. This shelf, I think I'm gonna put it maybe in there, and then all this stuff right here needs to find a shelf. So I'm probably gonna actually try to put a big shelf in there, and then probably put some smaller shelves down here. That's the plan. That's the update so far. It's just been a lot of work, like I said, like 13 hours just non-stop getting moved in. The problem is these ceilings are so short, and I cut these those posts a little bit lower, that way I had room to put that top rack in. Nothing's going on the top racks on these. I'm just kind of using that to just, you know, stop the cobwebs and stuff from touching the inventory, but hopefully we get everything to sell fast enough. All right, so it's the next morning. I am back in the basement. I'm getting ready to head out because I got to head to the dump and dump off some stuff, the piping that came out of here, a few beat up chairs that we had, and head to the dump, and then probably head to Lowe's afterwards or somewhere to get some shelving. So just got back from Lowe's a little bit ago. I picked up 2 of these 5-tier shelving units. I think one of these will go good in that downstairs like dungeon closet, and then the other one I'm gonna put in that back corner. And then I picked up some pre-cut 2x4s. They're 2 feet long, so they should go really good for the shelving. I feel like Bob the Builder right now. So I'm out here. I just cut these posts right here. Those are like 18.25 inch, and those should be able to fit right up there. So plan is to put at least 2 shelves up there. I didn't think I was gonna have that many. I mean, it would be nice to go 3, but I need to find my whatchamacallit, this thing right here. It checks for wires in the walls. I'll let you know if there's any wires in the walls. Right, see there, yeah. So make sure we double check and make sure, see where those wires are running up there into that light before we start screwing up there. The plan is to put it like this right there. These 2x4s, I had a feeling that I kind of needed something a little longer, that way they're straight like that, but not a super big deal. Screwed in like that, and then that rack should fit right in there like so. Yeah, that's perfect. All right, so that's about what it's gonna look like when it's on the ceiling. Yeah, you just gotta slide that in and then drop it down. It worked out perfect. Now we just got to see how much weight he can hold. Why? Because I want to. Yeah, there it is. That's awesome. This thing is solid. So the rack is up. That took forever. But honestly, it's a lot of space. It's a lot of space. That's a big shelf. There's not as much room up there. So that's why I wanted to start off on this side. I'd like to put another one up, but probably definitely not today. It is like 95 degrees in here. I want to put the AC in, but the problem with the AC is I don't know if that window is even going to open. So I'm just afraid of the thing shattering, and then I got to deal with that on the fly, and I don't want to deal with that. I want to get the shelving up. I want to get inventory, put away. All this stuff is going up there most likely, and there's going to be another one right here. And the only other thing to check to see is, does the garage door actually open? That would suck if it didn't. Oh. Oh. Oh my God, it just misses it. That's crazy. Look how close that is. Literally right there. I was probably 1/4 of an inch off whenever I finally was all said and done. There's an angle from up here. This side is like slightly closer to the bottom than that side is. And there's more room as you go down that way. So just sharing away on how I'm creating more space for inventory. This isn't like a DIY do-it-yourself channel. I mean, you could probably just hire this out. I prefer to do it myself, but I'm just sharing how I'm going to create more space for eBay. At the end of the day, these videos, every single thing I'm doing is to try to maximize how I do eBay. But there it is right there. It's how to create more space. Yeah, just as I thought, this window is completely painted shut, and I'm not sure if this is gonna work, but I'm just taking a utility knife and just trying to slice that paint and just kind of break it up. I don't think this has ever been opened. Ever. Even better when it starts raining. Alright. I really scored that outside. Ooh. There we go. God. Well, that was it. 1 inch. I can't put an air conditioner in 1 inch. Let's see if we can loosen that up. There we go. Alright, we got AC now. Now I'm going to start working on putting up the second shelf. I'm going to put one right there. I don't think I'm going to get the whole shelf done today, but I want to at least start. This shelf right here, put in, got that thing sitting on a block, pre-packaged items. Another shelf right here, should fit all of this stuff right here, no problem on these 2 shelves. And that's the update for today. I'm calling it a night. I'm actually got to put together some more furniture for upstairs, so it's not just about eBay.
Who you?
What? So Isabella is here joining me while I custom skew. So I found out that it's easier to just take a tote. As long as this all came from the same shelf, I used to call mine collectibles 1 through whatever, 12. And then, so this is collectible 7. And it's easier if you just search when you look at your active listings, collectible 7. And then you just bulk edit the listings. So that's what I'm doing here. And then all I'm doing is just selecting, bulk edit, and then just changing the custom SKU to whatever I want to change it to. So that's what I'm doing right here. R10 is rack 10, shelf 2, right tote, and then so on and so forth. Alright, so here's about the final update for this video. So I've been going at it all morning and all day. It's just, I'm literally just sitting here just thinking about what it's taken just to get to this point. Has just been insane. Between just breaking myself down to move all this stuff out of New Jersey to here, and then getting all this stuff set up 90% the way that I want it. So here's the update on the garage. Like I said, I'm just showing all this is just an idea on how I'm making this small 1-car garage work, because I know that a lot of people say, oh, I only got a 1-car garage, and honestly, I could fit a lot of stuff in here with just 1-car garage. So I'm just gonna give you a thorough setup on how I decided to set up. Come out of the house into here. This is where my office setup is, and where I'm gonna do all my shipping and customer service, all that good stuff. Computer. Got my brother printer. That's the model number right there. That's the one I've been using literally. I've never had issues with it. You never need to replace the ink. I love that printer. I paid $400 when it was brand new. You can probably get them for way cheaper now on eBay. But definitely an awesome investment. The best thing I've ever bought for sure. So you got a scale there, backup scale there, ounce scale there. That basket, I use that to For a lot of the stuff is like cleaning stuff that I use, cables and stuff I use to test. My personal VHS tape, some personal and then some that I put there for the kids to be able to watch a tape. I also use this TV, and this whole setup right here is going to be cleared off. This is going to be one of the testing stations. I'll probably test some larger items down there. And then I also test items inside the house, like in the living room, like certain things that I got to hook up to that TV or to hook up to the sound system. It's just easier that way. And then, like I said, all this stuff will be cleared off. And I'm not sure if that's going to stay up there, because I might have to put like maybe a heating source up there. But for now, that is going to stay up there. And all these tools, screws and stuff like that I've been using to do a lot of projects. All that stuff I'm about to get rid of here in a few minutes. Some notes right there and stuff I need to do. This small shelf right here fit over here perfectly. These are items that sold that need to go out. That big Mark's bowling alley, I paid $5 for that a few years ago. I plan on fixing it up and keeping it. And ended up fixing it up, keeping it. Plan on fixing it up and keeping it. And then I just never got around to removing it. I decided to throw it up on eBay. Sabrina's like, why would anybody buy that? And I'm like, somebody's going to want this thing. And someone bought it for $100 plus shipping. They paid $105 for just the shipping. So they paid more for the shipping than they did for the item itself. After fees and shipping and everything, I'm making $65. It took me about 20-25 minutes to package that. And then obviously listing and all that stuff. So probably about a half hour worth of work. Maybe 35 minutes, make $65 profit. That's good margin, but something that size I would never pick up for that. Like I said, that was supposed to be a personal buy. And then I sold a Brother typewriter for 60 plus shipping. Paid 20 for that my last day at the flea market. And that box right there, that's the dumbest buy I've ever bought. So, yeah, someone commented and said when I picked up those, I think it was 12 Linux plates or 10 Linux plates, paid $100 for them. And someone commented and said that was the stupidest buy I've ever seen on YouTube. So, but yeah, those sold for $200 plus shipping, so $100 and $200, and then obviously factor in fees. I'm not sure how that's a stupid buy, but in some people's world, I guess you gotta pay $1 and sell it for $100 with everything. But that's not the reality of everything you buy. But in my mind, that seemed like pretty good profit for how much work it took me to list it. And then we got a rack here. This will all be cleared out. Like I said before, nothing's going to be blocking that electrical panel. That is just there temporarily, just so I can get through this. So trust me, there ain't going to be nothing in this way right here. Shelf, I like to do 2-foot spacing. Ladder, so we can get up on these racks here. Calling that one ceiling rack 2 and ceiling rack 1. This will be video games, most likely. And that's where I like to put a lot of my signs. Or that's where I'm going to put the sign. Another rack, and then space right here for the air conditioner. That AC, this window was like, holy crap. That window literally probably hasn't been open in decades. The guy that had he had a motorcycle in his garage. I don't think he wanted anyone to look in the window. He painted it, whatever. Personally, I don't care. But the other side of the paint from the outside of the house, I could tell that stuff's been on there forever. That AC is way too big for this room, so I don't need it on all the time, and I turned it off right now because I'm recording and it's kind of loud. Got my shirt boombox there. Scooter, that's not going to stay there. A couple signs and figure out what I'm going to do with. Extra step ladder. I do have another step ladder, but I'm going to put that there. I like to have a step ladder in between my shelving so I can hurry up and get up there. And then that's the metal shelving that I'm going to use for up there. I know it's kind of a lot, but so we have metal shelf there for the ceiling. And then I've been putting the ladder here. It's been perfect so I could get up there and grab my items. And then the plan was to do the same thing here, even though I'm not sure if I want to, but I think it's going to work since I won't be able to put the heater there like I kind of planned, because obviously the heater can't be close to items like that. But when I go up the ladder, I don't want to hit my head on this thing. And I realize this thing doesn't even hook up to anything. Nor do I need it to hook up to anything. So a car obviously will never go in here. So this whole entire thing can theoretically just come down, the garage door opener. So another shelf. And then this is supposed to be cleared out. This stuff It's a culmination of stuff that needs to be listed, stuff that I plan on live selling, and stuff that literally just magically disappeared from eBay. I don't get it. I've talked about it before in the past. I know other people have talked about it, but it's not listed. Some of the stuff was listed for Facebook Marketplace only, so we're going to kind of evaluate what we're going to do with that. But this will all be done here very shortly. And then same thing, we have some unlisted stuff, some live selling stuff, and all of this stuff will be gone through. The plan is hopefully to only have like 1 or 2 shelves of unlisted stuff. I don't want to say that because I also want to be able to buy big lots of stuff, so I don't plan on designating this towards listed inventory for the most part, but this area right here surely will be cleared out. And then, okay, coming to this side, I think we already talked about all that. I have some of my personal stuff that I need down there, paperwork, all that. And then right here, I got the shipping station. This right here mirrors how I did it at my storage unit. I liked having the shipping table closest to the door because you open the door, you go out, you put the packages in the car, and you're good to go. So that's why I opted to do it this way. I have some heavier items down there, some free USPS boxes there I hardly ever use. These are all the items that sold that are ready to go out. And like I said, packaging, some of the, I'm missing some of the stuff right here that I used to package. But all that stuff, we'll find that soon. That's got to be in a box somewhere. The plan is once, this is a lot of bubble wrap and scrap that I use to move my personal, our house. So once we go through all that stuff, we'll get rid of all this and we'll be able to fit 2 giant rolls of bubble wrap up there. And then, like I said, this is all items that sold. A pair of rollerblades, I'm not sure what those even sold for, like $40 plus shipping. That alien lava lamp, paid $175. That sold for $325 plus shipping. I'm not even sure what's even in this box. I think it's that Lightning McQueen card, bought at the flea market, sold that for like 30 or 40. This Penn State Dooney and Burke bag that sold for 60 plus shipping, paid 38, so not much profit there, but a little bit of profit. And then what is this right here? What is that? Rainbow. Oh, so that's a bounce egg. So literally look out for bounce eggs, just like vintage marbles and all that. That bounce egg literally sold for $12 plus shipping. A little bouncy ball. And that's the second one that I've sold. So definitely look out for little small stuff like that. Some sort of vintage jacket. Not sure, but that sold for like 25, 30 bucks plus shipping. This pool lamp, pool sign right here, pool parlor sign, sold for 20 plus shipping. And this really cool, I'm tempted to keep this thing, the Crab Shack. I love finding stuff like this. We got stuff like this around our house. And that right there, I paid $20, I think, for that at the flea market or at a yard sale. But I paid $20. That sold for $70 plus shipping. Really cool sale. And honestly, if that didn't sell, I was definitely probably going to keep it. This stapler right here, some of these can be worth looking out for, these swing line staplers. I paid a couple bucks for that. That sold for 20 plus shipping. This Jeep Compass, this finally sold. That was actually in the thumbnail of one of my flea market videos. And I paid like 5 or 10 bucks for this. And that sold for, what was it, 30 plus shipping. Thought it would sell for more, but good profit nonetheless. And then we got some brass curtain rod holders. Very nice ones. These sold for like $17 or $18 plus shipping, and I paid like a couple bucks for those. So that's the update on all the sales that are going out. And yeah, I think about $1,500 in sales or something like that going out. So yeah, definitely a lot of stuff. Got to get that stuff shipped out soon. But that's pretty much the update on that. There was something else I wanted to talk about, but I totally forgot what it was. I do want to get these tools and stuff and everything cleaned up. And I know that this is a lot, but this is the update on the reality of moving, especially when you have like collectibles and stuff that can break. I have 2 kids, son and a daughter. If you're new to the channel, son's about to turn 7. My daughter is about to turn 2 in August. And I want my kids to be able to come up in here and not worry about them breaking something. So that's another reason why I like the idea of pre-packing stuff, especially expensive stuff. That way you can't just come up in here and just break something. They're not allowed in this garage unless I'm in here, but I want them to be able to come up in here when they want to come up in here and whatnot. And there's Sabrina, and there is Isabella, Say hi, Nug. Say hi to YouTube. But I want the kids and the dog to be able to come up in here when they want to. And that's pretty much the update on that. We'll try to do a house tour whenever we get everything done with the house. I'm actually about to go do some projects in the bedroom and put away my clothes because I haven't done that yet. But that's going to do it for this video. If you got anything from the video, as always, please consider smashing the like button. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next one. The Veteran Flipper out. Peace.